Discourse Now, I'm Mark Small.
I'm Paul Ogden.
And this is a beautiful October 13th, 2012. We are shooting from an undisclosed location.
A secure, undisclosed location.
Secure. Our guest panelist, friend of the show, is Jeff Cox. Jeff, how are you?
Sick.
Oh, I know you always have been. Mm-hmm. But he's an Indianapolis lawyer. Your website is?
jrcoxlawllc.com.
And your blog?
No boxes, allowed.blogspot.com. I haven't been posting too much on it lately because I've been trying to finish up the book.
And your book is coming out next year, and it is titled
Rising Sun, Falling Skies, the Disastrous Java Sea Campaign of World War II.
Cool.
Will there be pictures in the book? Because I'm fond of pictures. Mark doesn't like pictures.
It's not that I don't like pictures. It's just that I think that they detract from text, particularly if the person trying to put the pictures in doesn't know the tech. So that's kind of a part of it.
Well, Paul, I think you're not going to like it because there's nothing to color in.
I'd like stuff to color in. So
we're here to talk about the presidential and vice presidential debates and the governor's debate between the candidates for governor of Indiana that took place this week. Let's talk about the debate between the first one. It was the debate between candidates for president of the United States, President Barack Obama, and former governor of Massachusetts, former candidate for Senate from Massachusetts, prior former candidate for president of the United States, Mitt Romney. I mean, he's run a lot of times and lost. He only won one election.
well, when you're a Republican running in Massachusetts and you lose, it's just not a surprise.
Edward Brooke won multiple times as United States Senator.
Yeah, it's been a while ago, though, Mark.
Not that long ago. I was in high school.
But 87% of the state legislators are Democrat.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And the congressional delegation, I believe, is all Democrat.
And I guess that explains why he had such a different set of positions on his platform at the time.
That's true. That's true.
Because
he transitioned.
Well, you can't run as a Christian conservative in Massachusetts. You can't run as a far right-wing extremist in Massachusetts and expect to get anywhere.
You should be able to run as a far right-wing extremist any place.
That's right.
At least on security issues.
Okay. So, Barack Obama came into the debate. Historically, the first debate has been a disaster for an incumbent president.
Not a disaster, just not particularly good.
I don't know. I saw that first debate with W in 2004, and he got kind of messed up by John Kerry. I didn't think it was realistic that he'd get reelected. I didn't think it was realistic that he'd get elected the first time, and he wasn't.
I didn't think it was realistic that John Kerry would get elected, and he wasn't.
Well,
Thank you, Jeff.
My God, if his nose was any further in the air, you'd have to put airplane warning lights on it.
that's really kind of an extreme statement to make, Jeff. This is civil discourse, you boob. Now, in terms of the debate, President Obama came in, and the scoop on it now is he was trying to appear presidential and detached and calm.
Is that the excuse now?
Well, that beats the downers.
I thought it was the altitude.
The altitude was one. Another was his anniversary.
The sun got in his eyes.
Well,
Romney cheated.
That's why that ball dropped in the other day.
yeah, but the thing was, Romney made a whole bunch of statements that contradicted, one, positions he'd taken previously, and two, his platform. I mean, when he sat there and said, or stood there, I'm sorry, oh, hi there, buddy. Oh, here you go. Come on.
This is the type of analysis that you can't get anywhere else, folks.
That's here. But when he said that his health care plan would cover prior existing conditions, that was not true.
I don't know if it's true or not.
It's not.
Well, I'm sure, Mark, you would never mistake the facts. So.
Well, no, but it's generally, I mean, when Romney's own campaign person came out 2 hours after the debate and corrected him and said, no, the governor was wrong on that.
The thing is, though, isn't that one of the things the Republicans and Democrats agree on, even if Obamacare gets repealed?
Which it won't be.
That one of the things that should remain is the pre-existing condition.
Yeah, except Romney doesn't agree with that.
Well, the pre-existing condition is it's somewhat of a thorny issue. I personally think that you should be covered for pre-existing conditions. The position of many of the Republicans, though, is that that is an incentive for people to not get health insurance until they have like a broken arm or something, and then they go to get the insurance. It's because it has to cover the pre-existing condition. But there are ways of handling that, though.
Yeah, and also
of building that into the system.
And I have multiple sclerosis, and I didn't have health insurance when I was diagnosed, but because I didn't have health insurance when I was diagnosed, I was eligible to go into the state pool, but my rates got jacked up to $1,000 a month, and now that the Affordable Care Act has been upheld by the Supreme Court, rates went down a whole bunch from alternative carriers. But the thing is, yeah, but the thing is, because I was able to shop around, the thing is, all my money was going...
Wait, competition.
Yeah.
You're saying you like competition?
No, I'd rather have single payer like every rational society in the West has except us. But the point is, that money that I was paying every month, $1,000 a month, wasn't going for health care, it was going for CEO bonuses. And I don't see how giving somebody a bonus for buying out other insurance companies and eliminating competition is of any benefit to society at all.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to disagree with you on CEO bonuses and CEO pay. I've long said that the problem is there's on the boards, and that gets us into a topic we're not talking about today. The trouble is on these boards are filled with other CEOs, other executives, and they just pat each other on the back and vote for each other's bonuses.
It's almost like in Japan where they've got the kairatsu, where they've got the interlocking directorates of board. The same people are on the boards of different companies. And you're getting that here. He's got the same people on the boards of different. It's like there's, like the NFL consists of players who are on different teams, but it's just one pool of players. It's like there's one pool of people on corporate boards, and they all serve on different boards. But it's always the same people.
Well, and a
lot of them are named Susan Bye.
Well, do they get invitations to CIV's suite at Lucas Oil Stadium?
But personally, in terms of the debate, I watched it. I gave the edge to Romney, but where this debate, I think, was lost was in the coverage afterwards. I really thought there was almost an exaggeration of how well Romney did compared to Obama.
I agree with you on that, but I think I scored the debate, and I debated in high school and college and coached for 4 years in college, and in a round of debate, a person could score 30 points, speaker points, based upon various aspects of argument and stuff, and I scored it a 12 to 7, I think it was, or 12 to 6, which is an abhorrent score. Even in high school, that's a terrible score for a novice round, because I thought that there was a lot of ducking and dodging of questions, a lot of talking points where all they were doing was going off and giving talking points, and then you had blatant misstatements and misrepresentations of positions, especially by Romney. I mean, when he was contradicting his own positions and coming out as multiple mitt, but not being called on it by anybody. And I thought that was really...
But the job of the moderator is not to call people out. That's the job of the candidates.
Right, I agree with that.
Well, we didn't say anything about the moderator calling them out. This is the first it's been mentioned. That's like in the Harry Potter...
Well, then Obama didn't call him out then.
No.
The problem for Obama is it was twofold for that debate. First, he has spent the last 6 months trying to define Mitt Romney as an evildoer who's going to do the war on women and who's going to he's going to jack up your tax rates and all this other stuff. And that he's a right-wing extremist, which coming from Massachusetts, he's not. And that's a joke in and of it.
But coming from a different state, which he can because he has 11 other residences, he can't.
He wasn't governor of those states. He was governor of Massachusetts. And so what people saw on TV was someone who had a serious plan, who had a sensible plan, who wasn't foaming at the mouth like Ron Paul. And the second thing is, Obama has nothing to run on.
Yes, he does.
The economy stinks.
No,
it has not gotten better on his watch. It's been 4 years of a recovery that's still economic recovery, and I use the term loosely, that's still comatose. Gas prices are more than double they were when Obama took office. Iran's on the march getting nuclear weapons. He's not standing up for U.S. interests anywhere. He has nothing to run on.
Actually, he does, and so I'll counter what you just said. First of all, in terms of the economy, the stimulus is generally regarded as having been positive. It would have been effective if the Republicans hadn't sandbagged a lot of it.
What? Who? Who regards it as successful?
Yes, it did a lot of things, but wait a minute. Let's go back a little bit. Let's cycle back to the debate. And the debate would have been something like this. Okay, debt was $1.2 trillion a year when I took office. It's down to $1.1 trillion a year. I have plans that are in effect. Governor Romney wants to cut $5 trillion from our budget. How? He can't fund it. There are a lot of things to attack in what Romney said.
Solyndra.
Only one out of like 50 different green contractors are funding things.
They got about $1 billion, Solyndra.
They got about 400 or 500 million.
It was closer to 900.
I don't think so. But there are a lot of things upon which President Obama could have attacked Romney, didn't. And at the end of the debate, I agree there was more blown out of proportion than actually occurred in the debate. But I think that for a candidate to stand there and listen to an opponent in a debate say things that, whether you agree with me or not on these points, Jeff, to stand there, hi, we're filming right now, sorry, that's okay. When you have a candidate who is able in a debate, they are listening to what their opponent says, and they know that what their opponent says is diametrically opposite their view, or they have means by which they can attack that opponent. To not do so is a faux pas, major faux pas.
Well, one of the things, he didn't bring up the 47% comment.
No.
And there were some other comments that maybe he could have hit Romney on. I think he was going along with the flow of the debate, though, and those weren't just topics that didn't naturally come up. But as we saw in the gubernatorial debate, which we'll talk about.
Which you briefed very well.
Yeah, I did. No one will read it because it's too long, but...
I read it, but I'm no one.
Well, it's true. But, like John Gregg would take a question and go completely off with it and talk about other things.
Okay, well, we'll get to that.
You're right.
We'll get to that.
Well, just in a debate, in a political debate, not in a debate in high school or college, but in a political debate, one of the things you're supposed to do is go to talking points, because that's what you want the viewer to understand. That's what you want the viewer to take out of the debate. Now, that's not technically proper debating tactics. I understand that. But those are political tactics.
Yeah, but see, Jeff, don't distinguish between political debate and other types of debate. Debate, whether it's for a political campaign, high school or college, or a public debate where you're exchanging views on an issue, all involves the same things. They all involve the same things. One is you answer questions, you attack points that your opponent has raised, and yeah, there might be a segue into something else, but you really are supposed to do those. You're supposed to confront and argue, and you're supposed to answer questions directly. You're supposed to be clear about things. Obfuscation by all the candidates of either party is wrong, and it shouldn't be something that we see, but we do. But that doesn't mean that it's right. We're at the end of this segment. We'll be right back. That's